little but it's going nowhere. And
I know. What I said was I don't think it'll work.
exactly, a lot of Tibetans hold the same sentiments.
Yeah.
Now, my question is: you mentioned that China needs to be warned and given time of 6 months to agree to a solution for Tibet, or else the United States should recognize Tibet as an independent nation. Now, how does one go about? How does the process work to achieve that?
Right? Because you work with the administration, and you say that we need to have some progress taking place. We've talked about this for years. It's not moved. The negotiations haven't happened. I think you've got to set a deadline for this to occur, and or else nothing's going to happen. And that China has shown that, the CCP has shown that they just aren't gonna deal with this. And you need to set a deadline. And if it doesn't happen, then we recognize the independent Tibet, the independent sovereign Tibet, with the government in exile as the officially recognized government.
Thank you so much.
So just follow-up question. I'm Dorje. I'm a former Radio Free Asia reporter. Right now, I have my own podcast.
Oh,
So I just aired your last time. You make a very interesting statement at the hearing. I just
Oh,
aired
yeah,
that.
yeah.
So I have one quick question, sir.
Sure.
My question is, how you can convince the Tibetan community the right way is to independence, like Tibetan should be seek for independence, because within Tibetan there's a big division in terms of independence and the middle way. So it's not everyone is embracing it. So how you think you can bring a kind of reconciliation within the Tibetan themselves?
I think you do it by the United States backing the middle way. If China will recognize true autonomy, it has to be true autonomy. Now, true autonomy is you pick your own religious leaders, are a key part of that as well. But we say to the Chinese government, you must grant the middle way approach within 6 months, and if you don't, we're going to recognize a sovereign and independent Tibet. I think to me that's how you help bring along the Tibetan people to it as well, because all right, we set it up here. I really doubt the CCP is going to recognize the middle way approach and true autonomy because they haven't done it in Hong Kong, which they're required to under law to do that. So I think that should, in my estimation, it should help bring the Tibetan people along. That if China just denies the middle way approach.
So when you says it, how the Tibetan communities react, like
Can you turn a little bit on the camera?
like how the Tibetan leaders they oh, how the Tibetan leaders react to it. Like you make it very clear that Tibetans should seek independence if the Chinese do not come forward for the negotiation. But how the Tibetan political leaders they are reacting to it.
Yeah,
to
well,
your
that's
suggestion.
then I want to make sure I'm clear what I'm saying. I'm saying we should recognize the middle way approach and give China 6 months to agree to this. And if they don't, then we will recognize a sovereign Tibet with the government in exile as recognized as the sovereign government. That's what I'm saying. I don't think the middle way approach is going to work because I don't think the CCP is going to grant true autonomy to Tibet. But this is the way the Dalai Lama has put it forward. I respect that as a leader, a religious leader, and a clear leader of Tibet. Let's try that. Let's go that way. I don't think it's going to work. And then after that period of time, we should recognize in a sovereign Tibet. But first, we try to work with the middle way approach. I hope that is more clear that time. I'm saying you try that. Let's see if the CCP will go along with the middle way approach. If they will not, then we recognize an independent sovereign Tibet.
So how this will be brought forth to the U.S. government? Like Ambassador Sam Brownback, you are not a part of the government right now. So how it will be brought forth to the U.S. government and how they are going to look into it?
Yeah, I think it's brought forward like many issues are brought forward. Bills in Congress are filed. People talk about it. You have meetings like this today where the ideas are surfaced. people start kicking the ideas around. Is that a good idea or a bad idea? Is there a different way we ought to do it? Should we amend it? That's a normal, noisy democratic process, and that's how these ideas should be surfaced, and I think it's the way they will be surfaced.
Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah.
I'm looking to the Tibetan network. Just this book.
I'm Dorje. Nice to meet you.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm a former Radio Free Asia Tibetan service.
Okay.
And right now, I have my own podcast. So can I ask you a few questions, please?
Yes.
Yeah.
Sikyong the first step.
Yeah. You know, okay, maybe take a picture with him. That's fine. Yeah.
Okay. Excuse me.
One, two, three. One, two, three. Yep, thank you.
Yeah. Let's get the budget. Yes, sir. So I would like to know, like, so the material that you used to prove Tibet was an independent country
Was
was an independent country. Where those, what are your sources and what are your basis of claiming Tibetan was an independent country?
How much time do you want to give me? How much time do you want to give me?
Yeah, as much time as
Well,
you can take.
I think I've touched on that just now. And there's just like the Christians, they have the Bible, okay? The Muslims, they have the Quran. In Chinese histories, a set of books that are considered as authoritative. Nobody questions about the status. Okay, the first set would be called the veritable records. Okay, that's how it goes. Every emperor, when they go to court, when they deal with court matters, national matters, okay, every day there's a daily diary, and then at the demise, the death of the emperor, the successor of the deceased emperor would then convene a board of scholars and look at all the diaries and compile what's called the veritable records of Emperor XYZ. Okay? And so each emperor of a dynasty would have his own set of veritable records. And then at the end of the dynasty, when the next dynasty take over, the next dynasty will follow a 2,000-year-old tradition and then organize these veritable records, pick out the important ones, and then compile what's called the official history of the dynasty. So these are very, very authoritative documents. It doesn't mean that they are all truth. Nobody tells truth all the time, okay? But these are recognized as the most authoritative in the sense that if I quote something from these documents, I don't have to prove that I'm right. But if you don't believe me, you have to try to prove why I'm wrong and why this document is wrong. Otherwise, you have to assume that these documents are correct. So to answer your first question is that the first set of authoritative records would be the veritable records, and then the official history that comes after that. Besides that, there are many, so what is called imperially commissioned documents. Okay, and they are, the word means that it is commissioned by the emperors, and then again they relate to all the national records, all the national activities and stuff like that. So these are the most authoritative official records. After that, you have, of course, the original reports and documents supported by the important officials of the nation, the Qing government, the Ming government, the Yuan government. Okay, these are original reports. Again, doesn't mean that what they report to the imperial court, they are all truthful, but it does mean that they are the most authoritative sources that we have, unless you have something that is even more authoritative to disprove it. Okay, and usually it's difficult to find those that are even more authoritative because you're talking about a report, let's say, from a governor of a province that was submitted 200 years ago. Okay, and even if he was telling lies, it's very difficult for you to come up with another document to actually to disprove him. So these are the official records, and they are available to the public today because of the digital revolution. So in the past, the PLC could say, "Oh, I have these records, but you don't have it. I'm telling you, okay, this is this. You better believe in what I say." But today you can't get away with this. Everybody can go, not everybody, but I mean, if you know enough about Chinese history, you can go and check those records, and you can say, "Hey, wait a minute, what you are telling me is actually wrong." What the PLC has been doing is that they have been fabricating records from these official sources. And if you go to these official sources, you say, wait a minute, it's not there. Okay? And so,
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
yeah.
Professor, I'm Uyghur.